Some of the newest features that you've added to the camera are the new mount and playback feature. Can you tell us more about those two features, and are there going to be any new features added before the digital Bolex hits consumers?
There are still a few hidden features for the digital Bolex that we will be releasing as they become available. So there are still some things that will be new even after the camera comes out.
Yeah.
There will be firmware updates that unlock things that we haven't told people about, and we are keeping under our hats for now because competition. We are hopefully very close to a finished camera design. Most of the electronics, the design is done. There is now just the firmware to get past writing and implementing. We have made a couple small changes to the body. Even recently, I think last week, we added a pin for putting measuring tape on so that you could measure
more precise focus.
Your focus on measuring tape and things like that. But those are mostly very small, almost cosmetic changes.
Yeah. Specifically the turret mount that we added is because we're building custom lenses, and something the Bolex was known for back in the day was the ability to put 3 small prime lenses on the front of the camera and switch them easily by just sort of moving the turret. And that allows you to get, a wide range of shots while still using primes, which tend to be higher quality lenses. And so, that's something that people have almost jokingly been asking us about since we started the project. But it was something that we also had always been thinking about. And so as soon as we realized that it was possible, that's something that we've been developing really actively. Because one thing is, our engineering team is based in Toronto, and that means that we do have some time here to work with, as Joe said, other partners. And the people that we're working with on the lenses, it's a completely separate team, and they're amazing. And the types of discussions, the in-depth discussions we've had with them on what type of lenses we'll be able to create is pretty impressive. Playback was something that is slightly more complicated. A lot of it has to do with firmware, and so it becomes more of a question of making sure that we build the hardware in that we know can support features we want to add later that will appear through the firmware. So a lot of sort of the updates that he's mentioning that haven't been announced have to do with sort of components that will already be shipped inside the camera but may not be able to be activated until we figure out how to program that in exactly. But playback, was a feature that was wanted from day one. It's in trying to recreate the 16mm film experience. Obviously you don't really have playback on a film set, but this is a feature that with digital has become universally accepted, and at this point is probably required. And while most people are using laptops on set and have this digital workflow where they're dumping footage and can watch it on the computer, and part of wanting to keep this as an all-in-one package that doesn't require you to have other parts, playback was necessary, but we just wanted to figure out the best way to do it before we announced that we would be able to do it.
Once the camera is finally available to the consumer, if someone needs to get it serviced for whatever reason, where will they take it?
Well, we have a 1-year warranty on the camera, like most other camera companies have on it, and we've talked to, we'll be responsible, for fulfilling any warranty issues. We've had some really good discussions with people who are professionals at this kind of thing, and potentially being our go-to service people, which would be great. Nothing is decided yet, but even if we don't go with someone else, that will then, be shipping it back to Canada and having the people who actually made the camera fixing it if there is any kind of a problem.
We're going to be establishing a manufacturing facility in Canada that will actually be putting the cameras together and testing them before they go out. And that'll also be a service facility for anything that is broken or damaged or needs repair. We're talking to a company right now that works with major distribution channels that you've heard of, major websites basically that you've heard of, and is a supplier for them. This distributor also happens to have a large repair facility themselves. So if we choose to partner with them, they may do some of the more mechanical repairs, and the ones they can't do that are more electronic, they may send still to Canada. So it's a little bit up in the air right now. But because we are starting with a very small number of cameras, only 100, and then the next batch again will be a relatively small number of cameras, we'll hopefully be able to grow into fit these responsibilities and needs as they come up.
So we also understand that we have international interest in the product, so we also want people, if they're LA based, it may be a problem for them to have to ship something out to Canada. So as many options as we have to get people what they need is what we want to do if we can manage it.